Hi there, this is Becky from Nomadic Knits, and I'd like to walk you through how I use the Knitmas in July worksheet. Just in case you've never used a worksheet like this, I have a couple little bits of information that you might find helpful. So the front of this, if you print it out, this is what it will look like. It has all the same information as your pattern. The second page as well will just have all the same information, all of different links to the tutorials on the web. If you're on your computer looking at this or a digital device, you can just click on those and go right to those videos. If you are not on a computer, you can just type those into a computer and you'll be able to watch all of the videos. So as I was going through this, I found something that was helpful to me to remind me as I worked through this chart, through this worksheet, to help me remember when to change colors and what colors I was changing to. So you'll notice that for each row, it has the color, whether it's the wrong side or the right side, and then it has your instructions and how many stitches should be on your needle at the end of that row. And then you have a handy little place to check off each row as you go, so that if you put your project down, you'll always know where you are when you pick it up again. So this whole first page is just CC1. We start changing colors over here. So I just wanted to show you what works for me, and maybe it will be helpful to you too, or maybe if you just enjoy coloring, you'll have fun with this. For this example, I'm using this colorway, this kit color. So we have pink, a dark teal, and a navy as our contrast colors. And we have this beautiful variegated yarn with all kinds of color in it as our main color. So because I didn't have anything that would really be representative of this on hand, I just had a sort of a small pack of colored pencils to choose from. I'm actually not going to color in the main color on this worksheet. Instead, what I'm going to do is I'm going to color in the contrast colors so that I can see them as they come. Now, whatever works for you, if you don't have colors that match whatever colors you're working with, that's fine, as long as you can differentiate between which color, and it's just sort of a visual cue to keep you on track so that you don't, knit an entire row in the wrong color and then have to take back. As you can see in this swatch, well, it's not a swatch, it's the beginning of yet another Knitmas in July shawl because I can't stop knitting them. We are going to start with the navy. So our CC1 is going to be, this is what I chose to be representative of my navy color. And however you want to do this, whatever works for you, if you just want to color in that first section as a visual cue, or if you want to get really fancy, if you've got some cute highlighters or markers, whatever you've got, go for it. You can make this as artsy as you like, or you can just make it utilitarian and it can just act as a visual cue. And if you don't feel like you need a visual cue, then that's fine too. So here we're switching to CC2, which is my pink. So I'm just gonna color this in here. And you can see that the main color here, I've created a bold line that goes around each section of main color to also act as a visual cue to differentiate your colors and note the color changes. Because in the written pattern, you'll see that it says change to whenever you need to change a color. But on this one, it doesn't have as many details. So this is just sort of a visual representation to keep you on track. I would suggest reading through the entire pattern before you begin working from the worksheet, just so that you have all the details and little notes that are scattered throughout. I hope that this was helpful to you. And I'm actually going to show you how to use this in the digital format as well. So if you have a digital device that has a digital pen attached to it, another great way to keep track of your pattern is in a program like GoodNotes, for example. You might also be able to do this in a PDF reader. I'm not positive, but I think that that's possible. So it's the same thing, and on here you can click those links. You'd have to turn your stylus off to be able to make the links clickable. But as you can see here, we've got the worksheet just as it is in the other section on the printed version. And so I'd like to highlight these, and it's a little bit easier digitally. It goes much more quickly. And I actually did find a color that was more representative of the main color on here. Well, I created a color. So I just sort of ramped that up to be nice and big. And you can do this however you like, just like with the printed version. So, and the nice thing about the highlight in GoodNotes is that once you put it on, it actually goes and sits behind the writing that's on there. So you don't really have to worry about it blocking what you're working on. So I also went ahead and picked out, I did that wrong, look at that. Well, now you get to see the eraser function, which is just as great because this pattern doesn't start with the main color. It starts with CC1, which is this color right here. So again, you can do that however you like it. You can just run it down the edge here if you like. Then we've got our main color here. And if you hold it down on GoodNotes, it snaps so that it's a straight line. We're back to CC1. And then our main color, and now we're on to CC2, which is our pink in this version. To our main color, and back to CC2. So as you can see, it's a really easy way to keep track of your colors and where you are in your pattern. You can go right back to your pen, and as you're working through, you can check off the spots that you've done, and if you make a mistake, see, if you make a mistake just like that, you can go back and erase it all. So that's how you use your worksheet digitally. Happy knitting!